You didn't hear this from me, darling, but the whispers from the wizarding world are growing absolutely deafening. The upcoming HBO Harry Potter series is stirring up some serious casting chatter, and honestly, I've been rather enchanted by what I've uncovered. Today, I want to share my own thoughts. Purely my predictions and hopes, mind you, not a single confirmed leak, just delicious speculation about who might snag the roles for some of the biggest characters not yet officially confirmed. We'll be digging into the fan theories, the delightful wish list, and what I think might unfold. If you're as utterly obsessed with this as I am, do be a love and hit that like button. And subscribe, of course. Let's roll into this, shall we? Now, first up, the Dark Lord himself, Lord Voldemort, or, well, Tom Riddle, in his more charmingly sinister youth. The role remains shrouded in secrecy, which, honestly, is exactly how it should be. The mystery makes it all the more thrilling, doesn't it? Multiple reports have hinted that the Dark Lord has already been cast, but that HBO plans to hold back the reveal until the episodes actually air. Which, I must say, is deliciously theatrical. It's like we're all sitting there waiting for our Hogwarts letters, except instead of an owl, we're waiting for a press release. Now, if you've been skulking through the fandom corners of Reddit or Tumblr like I have, purely for research, obviously, you'll know that fans are having an absolute field day with predictions. At the top of nearly every fantasy casting list sits Tom Hiddleston. And really, who can blame them? That man could make reading a shopping list sound like an ancient curse. He has that calm, coiled menace, that Loki meets Salazar Slytherin aura, and you can just picture him gliding through the Great Hall with that knowing smirk. Though, personally, I'd love to see him lean more into the eerie, whispering intensity of Voldemort's later years, something that feels less comic book villain and more, metaphysical terror. Then there's Cillian Murphy. Oh, the fandom adores to bring his name up, don't they? Though he's publicly denied involvement, that hasn't stopped the dream casting threads from flooding every Potter forum. His eyes alone could terrify a basilisk. But between Peaky Blinders and Oppenheimer, I do wonder if he'd be a touch too recognizable. HBO might want a fresh face to let the world of Hogwarts feel alive again, rather than a reunion tour of British cinema. Now, my personal favorite idea, Paul Bettany. He's got that cold precision, that voice that seems capable of both empathy and annihilation. He's never quite been given a role with this particular blend of mythic dread and Shakespearean gravitas. And yet, the wildest theory, and my favorite, is that the show might have auditioned women for Voldemort. I know, scandalous. Imagine the discourse. Some insiders whispered that early casting sheets listed open gender for the role of the Dark Lord. It may have been a test, or perhaps they're just open-minded. Still, while I adore creative liberty, I think they'll keep the character true to the books, though perhaps with a fresh nuance. My own prediction? They'll reveal Voldemort late in the promotional cycle, perhaps even in the finale's trailer, to send the internet into a frenzy. HBO loves its prestige secrecy. And for young Tom Riddle, that's where things get even juicier. The name floating most persuasively through the rumor mill is Owen Cooper, a young British star, Emmy winner for his haunting role in Adolescence. He has that uncanny mix of charm and danger, doesn't he? Fans have latched onto him as the perfect young Slytherin prodigy, capable of making you believe he could murder and smile in the same breath. He'd make a marvelous Riddle. And before I spill the next secret, make sure you've subscribed, love. You'll want to be here when I finally reveal the rather peculiar method HBO is allegedly using to cast our beloved Luna Lovegood. It's truly something else, and a little bit mad. Just how we like it. Now, Sirius Black. Oh, darling, this one's close to my heart. The fandom's favorite brooding rebel, half goth, half golden retriever. His casting remains unconfirmed, but the speculation has been absolutely delectable. Since the series is expected to flesh out the Marauders and the Order, Sirius will no doubt become more central, more layered, less the tragic cameo he was in the early films. The name most often whispered is Ben Barnes, and, honestly, he seems born for it. That dark, soulful stare, the charisma, the I've seen horrors but I'll die for my friends energy. He'd bring gravitas to Sirius's trauma while still giving us that effortless charm. But there's also a growing chorus for Robert Sheehan, who'd lend a different, more rebellious chaos to the role. A wild magic, you might say. His Sirius would feel dangerous, unpredictable, and oddly magnetic. And honestly, I wouldn't mind a bit of that. I suspect HBO will hold off casting Sirius until Season 3, Prisoner of Azkaban, since that's his true debut. But when they do, they'll want someone with real emotional reach, a face we know, but not so iconic it distracts. Then Bond still feels like the perfect middle ground. He's got that twinkle in his eye that says, yes, I've been in Azkaban, but I can still make you laugh over tea. Now, Remus Lupin and Peter Pettigrew, now these two are an exercise in contrasts, the heart and the horror. Neither has been publicly confirmed, and that's precisely what makes the speculation so thrilling. Remus must carry quiet tragedy, intellect, and that rare warmth that makes you trust him instantly. Peter must embody the opposite, a fragile loyalty that curdles into betrayal. For Remus, Arthur Darvill has been floated often, and I rather love that idea. He's got that gentle authority, that quiet melancholy. Someone who could stand before a class and make even defense against the dark arts feel poetic. As for Peter, oh, the possibilities. The show might cast someone completely new, a young actor with a kind face and darting eyes. You know, the kind of person you'd never suspect of treachery until the camera lingers just a second too long. The Marauders casting is where HBO can really set itself apart from the films. If they let us fall in love with the friendship first, the betrayal later will hit twice as hard. It's very Percy Jackson prophecy vibes, destiny wrapped in tragedy. The Weasley family, of course, are the beating heart of the series. But curiously, several key members remain unannounced: Bill, Charlie, and dear Arthur. Given that HBO's taking the slow burn approach, one book per season, they have time to build that familial magic properly. Bill Weasley is often imagined as that rugged, curse-breaking hero with a soft center. Luke Evans, my darling, would be perfect. He radiates heroic warmth. But the fandom also tosses around names like Richard Madden or even Joe Alwyn. Personally, I think they'll go younger. Late 20s perhaps, someone on the cusp of leading man status, but not yet a household name. Charlie needs physicality, the dragon handler, a role with bite, quite literally. Aaron Taylor Johnson is mentioned occasionally, but he may be too high profile. I'd love to see someone new, maybe a Royal Academy-trained actor with a spark of danger in his grin. And Arthur, the father we all wish we had. Mark Addy comes up often, and he'd be a lovely fit, wouldn't he? Warm, eccentric, utterly fascinated by muggles. But I can see someone like Stephen Mangan, too. A bit more whimsical, that twinkle of mischief behind the da jokes. I suspect HBO will reveal Bill and Charlie together in some charming family portrait when the time comes. That would melt the internet faster than butterbeer on a summer's day. Now, James and Lily Potter, oh my heart. These two castings matter more than people realize. They're the emotional anchors, the mythic parents whose sacrifice defines everything. Their presence will echo through the whole series. And with HBO's extended runtime, we'll finally get to see them live, not just die. Fan talk suggests Jonah Hauer King for James. He's got the classic charm, that effortlessly heroic air. For Lily, Emily Carey often gets mentioned. Perhaps a touch young, but she's got the emotional gravity for it. Still, I think they'll go slightly older, early 30s perhaps, to keep the parental dynamic believable. Someone like Eleanor Tomlinson could absolutely capture that luminous, unshakable compassion. James and Lily deserve more than flashbacks. I hope HBO expands them through the Marauders flashbacks. Imagine whole episodes of their Hogwarts years, the Order of the Phoenix's early missions, the First War. The lore lover in me could scream with joy. Oh, and I must confess, I spilled tea on my notes the other day trying to map the timeline. Then we have the ghosts of Hogwarts. Nearly Headless Nick, the Grey Lady, the Bloody Baron, the Fat Friar, the unsung storytellers of the castle. The fandom is buzzing about how HBO might give them more weight, maybe even mini-arcs exploring their backstories. After all, the Baron and the Grey Lady's tragic history is one of the most gothic love stories in the series. Very Crimson Peak energy. I'd adore to see Daisy Edgar Jones as the Grey Lady. She has that quiet, haunted beauty. For Nick, maybe Alan Tudyk? Comedic but touching. The ghosts are where HBO could bring in those veteran British actors we all know by face but not name. The kind who make everything feel instantly timeless. Now on to Gilderoy Lockhart and Cedric Diggory. The charmers, though one far more self-serving than the other. Lockhart must be flamboyant, vain, but never cartoonish. Sam Claflin has been heavily discussed, and I do see it. He could deliver that glossy smile with just enough menace beneath. Jonathan Bailey would also be wonderful. Pure charisma with a hint of self-adoration. As for Cedric, the fandom's sweetheart, the hero who never gets enough time, I suspect they'll go with a rising star. Louis Partridge's name comes up again and again. He'd bring that tragic, noble grace. And if the show expands Cedric's character, perhaps showing more of his school life before Goblet of Fire, it'll hit harder when the tragedy comes this time. We'll feel it this time, not just see it. Dobby and the Sorting Hat, oh, the voice roles. These are the unsung delights of casting. They'll make or break the world's believability. I predict Dobby will have a softer, less caricatured tone this time, perhaps voiced by a warm, empathetic actor like Billy Boyd, someone who can make "Master has given Dobby a sock" sound like poetry. The Sorting Hat, meanwhile, could be a surprise celebrity cameo. Stephen Fry would be poetic symmetry, wouldn't he? Full circle from audiobook to artifact. Now, between you and me, darling, the one I'm most curious about isn't even human. It's Fox, the Phoenix. If HBO's going all in with modern effects, Fox could be more expressive, almost a character unto himself. I've heard whispers they're bringing in creature specialists from House of the Dragon to design magical creatures. Imagine what they could do with the Phoenix rebirth sequence. Chills, truly. I suspect we'll also see much more of the founders, at least through portraits and memories. Salazar, Helga, Rowena, and Godric. It's prime material for a lore expansion, and if they do, they'll need gravitas. Perhaps even theater legends. Someone like Chiwetel Ejiofor as Godric Gryffindor, they still my heart. Oh, and speaking of heart, the romance arcs will be casting gold. I'm desperate to see how they handle Tonks and Lupin later on. Will they cast her with that punkish energy she deserves? Fans keep suggesting Florence Pugh, which is wishful thinking, but chef's kiss all the same. The way HBO's pacing things, one book per season, gives them room to plant seeds early. They might hint at Tonks in order training scenes long before she officially appears. It's smart storytelling, and exactly the kind of breadcrumb trail we lore lovers live for. I do wonder, though, about how they'll recast beloved professors like McGonagall and Snape. Maggie Smith and Alan Rickman are irreplaceable, But as the fandom keeps reminding us, new doesn't mean lesser. It just means different magic. Some suggest Olivia Colman for McGonagall, and I'd faint on the spot if that happened. For Snape, a few whisper Riz Ahmed after his stunning work in the new Pottermore audiobooks. And honestly, I adore it. It's fascinating, isn't it, how these casting debates reveal our emotional ties to the world. We don't just want actors, we want continuity of feeling. That same spark we felt as children, sitting cross-legged before a screen, whispering along with the spells. I do hope HBO remembers that what made the films work wasn't spectacle, it was sincerity. The quiet heartbeats, the bravery in the ordinary, the faces we came to trust. If they capture that, and if these casting choices strike that delicate balance between reverence and reinvention, we may just see something extraordinary. If they stumble, well, you know how this fandom reacts. We'll duel them on Twitter. So, my lovely lore explorer, that's my full little crystal ball reading. Voldemort, Sirius, the Marauders, the Weasleys, James and Lily, the ghosts and beyond. Nothing confirmed, everything possible. It's a thrilling time to be a fan, isn't it? If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, won't you, love? Subscribe so you'll be here when the next wave of casting chaos hits. And tell me in the comments whose casting you're most excited or terrified about. I do love a bit of speculative debate over tea. That's all for now, my darling, but don't wander too far. On your screen now is our vision from my co-host for the entire first season of the HBO series, episode by episode, the way we think the magic should unfold. Go on, click it, and make sure you subscribe, love. You'll want to be here when I finally reveal more news and HBO Harry Potter TV series leaks.